So starting off, we actually have a James O'Keefe Media Group video that he posted on X. Breaking: video CEO of IBM admits to using coercion to fire people to take their bonuses away unless they discriminate in the hiring process. You got to move both forward by the percentage that leads to plus on your bonus. The CEO said this about hiring Hispanics, and by the way, if you lose part of your bonus. After pulling ads from X for racism, quote unquote, IBM chief Arvind Krishna says that he will fire, demote, or strip bonuses from execs who don't hire enough blacks, Hispanics, or hire too many Asians. Asians are not underrepresented minority in tech in America. I'm not going to fitness this. For blacks, we should try to go towards 13%. Paul, the chairman of Red Hat, a subsidiary of IBM, says in the leaked recording that the Red Hat has terminated people because they weren't willing to engage in racial discrimination through hiring and promotion. Title 7 of the Civil Rights Act makes it illegal for employers to discriminate on the basis of race in the workplace. So with that being said, let's dig right into the video here.
Underrepresented and gender, you got to move both forward by a percentage. That leads to a plus on your bonus. By the way, if you lose part of your bonus. I'm not trying to finesse this. So for blacks, we should try to get towards 13 point something%. On Hispanics, you got to get into the mid-teens. So let me say it. Asians in the US are not an underrepresented minority in a tech company.
James O'Keefe here outside of IBM's corporate headquarters in Armonk, New York. An IBM insider has provided us with an internal video showing the CEO of IBM, Arvind Krishna, using coercion to fire people and take away their bonuses unless they discriminate in the hiring process.
Let me go deeper in the Red Hat. Multiple leaders over the last year plus that were held accountable to the point that they're no longer here at Red Hat because they weren't willing to live up to the standards that we set in this space. This conversation takes place every single day, and a lot of it's behind the scenes.
They terminated executives that didn't discriminate, yet another violation of Title VII.
Of course. And I completely agree with what Steve Jobs did to IBM when he was still alive. Show the picture of Steve Jobs standing in front of this very sign right here, flicking it off. I agree with Steve Jobs in this aspect because it's just amazing to see this. I would do that to the CEO of IBM. I don't like IBM anyway. I think that they're not revolutionizing the industry like they once did. They're not trying to do that. They're just so focused on DE&I that they're not focusing on anything else here. Of course, hire the best person for the job. You're not going to sit there and say, no, well, you're a really good candidate for this position, but we just don't want you because you're black. Like, that would never happen.
Companies in the world, one of the most valuable and recognizable brands on earth. IBM Insider has provided us with an internal video showing the CEO of IBM, Arvind Krishna, using coercion to fire people and take away their bonuses unless they discriminate in the hiring process, which appears to be a violation of Title VII. This comes on the heels of IBM pulling advertising from Elon Musk's X, with IBM saying they have zero tolerance for discrimination. Quote, IBM has zero tolerance for discrimination, and we've immediately suspended all advertising on X while we investigate.
So let me add a couple of things with a Red Hat flavor on it. I think Arvind laid it out pretty well, but let me go deeper in the Red Hat. And as Arvind very much pointed out, and I very much understand, I am accountable. I hold myself accountable. He holds me accountable, as does the board for all of IBM. But we also hold the leadership at Red Hat accountable for that. I mean, I'll be very candid. Without an exception for privacy, I could name multiple leaders over the last year plus that were held accountable to the point that they're no longer here at Red Hat because they weren't willing to live up to the standards that we set in this space.
Yeah, and that's just disgusting here because you're firing people just based off of the mere fact that they don't want to discriminate, which is a violation of Title VII. So just because people don't want to violate Title VII, it means now that they don't have a job. So that's a violation of another title, but that's besides the point. We do have another story to get to. I would like to cover the whole entire deep dive, but if you do want to check out the whole entire deep dive that James O'Keefe Media Group actually dug into, then you can see this on Twitter. Just go to James O'Keefe. I think it's the James O'Keefe. Let me just make sure what his Twitter handle is. Yep, James O'Keefe the third, right on Twitter. Look at the shirt that I have on. Oh, never back down, and it's Trump's mugshot. So if you do want to get this, check out the link down below or check out shop.originalstudios.com and you can use code Dimitri for 15% off.